Missouri Senate Committee on Economic Workforce Development is being called to order. Since we do not yet have a quorum, we'll go ahead and begin in a subcommittee. And first bill up that we will be hearing is Senate Bill 381. Senator Fitzwater, please begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Travis Fitzwater, 10th Senate District, bringing before you Senate Bill 381. It's an economic development tool, I think, to encourage more investment in opportunity zones, which was a product of the Trump tax cuts in 2017. They created zones of areas where there had been a significant amount of kind of dilapidated properties, a lack of investment over time. Areas are typically low income with not a lot of investment happening in those communities, and a focus on those areas so that investment can come back in those spots. There's some right here around Jeff City, just down the road on Capitol Avenue and south and southeast of here. And they've spurred a lot of development, especially in city areas, metropolitan areas. And I have a couple stats that I think are worth talking about in these opportunity zones. The Economic Innovation Group reported that opportunity zones have spurred over $89 billion in investment across thousands of communities. Housing supply is up over 313,000 new residential addresses between 2019 and 2024. Some studies indicate increases in resident employment levels. The Tax Foundation found that opportunity zone designation in metropolitan areas increased the growth in the employment rate by 3.7% from January 2018 to December 2019. And a 3.3% increase from January 2020 to December 2021. This benefits employment and income. It increases business investment. Real estate prices go up in these areas when all this investment happens. So we really want to tag along with the federal government's effort to get investment in these opportunity zones. And what we would do with this bill is basically remove the earnings tax for those areas in the opportunity zones to try to help those areas that aren't seeing investment, a further encouragement of investment in those areas. So that's the heart of the bill. We just remove we remove earnings taxes for businesses and individuals in those opportunity zones and try to get some investment back to areas that are really struggling. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for the bill sponsor? First up to testify in favor, please come forward. Anyone that would like to testify in opposition?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Sam Panettiere on behalf of City of Kansas City and the Northland Chamber of Commerce, representing Clay and Platte County. Got to go on record in opposition on this one. Been before the committee a number of times on incentives to help, spur development in areas. Certainly appreciate the effort to try to, pinpoint opportunity zones to do so. But in our city, we're seeing a lot of development in those opportunity zones. Northeast, historic Northeast, 18th and Vine. Senator Washington isn't here, but she could speak to some of the development there. So bottom line is we don't think this is a good tool to do that. It's an $89 million hit to our $351 million earnings tax revenue, which is essentially half of our general fund. That general fund, about 71% of that goes towards public safety. And as you know, you guys have passed a bill that has required us to spend a certain amount on police from whatever that total budget is. So that would be a reduction in public safety funding as well. So with that, happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for the witness? Seeing none, thank you. Please proceed to the witness forum. Anyone else to testify in opposition?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Jackie Barget. I'm a registered lobbyist here on behalf of the City of St. Louis. Also to go on record in opposition. As you all are aware, the city of St. Louis now has a new administration with Mayor Spencer being sworn in yesterday. So she's 1 day in and has not had an opportunity to sit down with Senator Fitzwater to kind of talk about, and I think she would really look forward to partnering in ways to finding tools to help attract business into the city of St. Louis. But at this time, we do have to be opposed to this, specifically based on kind of what you all have heard from me in the past and the significant revenue loss that could occur to the city from these types of bills, and which, as Mr. Panettiere said before on the Kansas City side, is a significant revenue driver for us to provide city services, and a hit like this could have significant blow to our city's credit and fiscal health as well. With the passage of the state control legislation, Mayor Spencer is also a little concerned and wants to make sure that we're not taking a loss in revenues when we're trying to make sure that we're fulfilling the obligation of providing for our law enforcement as well. With that said, I am going to submit, along with my witness form, a letter from newly elected Mayor Spencer and some talking points about the fiscal impact to the city as well.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for the witness? Seeing none. Next up, they would like to testify in opposition.
Mr. Chairman, Shannon Cooper today representing the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce as well as Civic Council of Greater Kansas City. And unfortunately, like the previous two witnesses, we have to go on record in opposition of this. And it's rare that the Chamber and the Civic Council oppose types of economic development tools in the city. But as Sammy pointed out, in our opportunity zones, we've seen work, we've seen revitalization, and as he pointed out, the earnings tax is instrumental in funding public safety in our city. And previous legislation's been passed. There's a guaranteed amount of our general revenue that goes to law enforcement, and legislation like this reduces that. So the Chamber and the Civic Council are very sensitive towards that. Our members have always been strong supporters of law enforcement as well as the earnings tax. So be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for the witness? Senator Gregory?
I haven't exactly had a chance to read over this. Is Kansas City currently included in this legislation as written?
We believe it is, and I know there was some talks about exemptions, but just the whole premise makes us nervous. And you know how things work here, Senator. We might not be.
You get nervous about a lot of things there, Mr. Cooper.
I got 4.5 weeks of nervousness left. If you'd monitor my blood pressure with me every morning, you'd realize that. But look forward to the 17th of May when I can be home with the cows and relaxed.
Lowering that coffee intake helps with blood pressure.
There's probably a lot of things that are self-induced that create health problems for me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions for the witness? Seeing
Thank you,
none,
Mr.
thank you
Chairman.
for your testimony. Anyone else who would like to speak in opposition? Anyone for informational purposes only? Seeing none, that concludes the hearing for Senate Bill 231. And we're going to take a moment and establish a quorum. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Here.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Schnelting, Trent, Washington. We have a quorum.
Since we do have a quorum, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. Do I have a second? It has been seconded. We are in executive session. I move the committee take up House Bill 903. Do I have a second? This is Representative West's personal property tax bill we heard last week. I move that the committee vote to pass HB 903. Do I have a second? Second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Schnelting, Trent, Washington. By your vote of 5-1, you have voted to pass House Bill 903.
I now move that Senate Bill 759 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? Second. This is the bill I presented last week that relates to erroneous property classifications. A Senate committee substitute has been distributed just to tighten up some concerns by the State Tax Commission. It does two things. It specifies the cause of action is against the assessor and also adds a line upon taxpayer submission of evidence to show their attorney's fees. For those that might have missed when the bill was presented last week, current law does allow anyone whose property is erroneously classified the right to seek compensation for any attorney's fees, though there isn't really a outlined procedure for how to go about this. So this creates a cause of action to allow them a pathway to recoup those attorney's fees that are already allowed to be recouped by current law. I move that the committee adopt the Senate committee substitute for Senate Bill 759. Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the substitute say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We have adopted the Senate committee substitute for Senate Bill 759. I now move the committee vote Senate committee substitute for Senate Bill 759 do pass. Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Senator Gregory, 21, left his, votes aye. Senator Gregory, 15, left his vote with the chairs voting yes. Senator Lewis? Present. Senator Schnelting? Senator Trent? Washington? By your vote of 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 present, you have voted to do pass Senate Committee substitute for Senate Bill 759.
I move the committee take up Senate Bill 676. Do I have a second? This is Senator Schroer's legislation relating to certain convention and sports facility authorities that we heard last week. I move the committee vote do pass Senate Bill 676. Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory, 21, left his vote with the chairs voting yes. Gregory, 15, also left his vote with the chairs voting yes. Senator Lewis? Aye. Senator Schnelting?
Yes. Aye.
Senator Trent? Aye. And Senator Washington. By your vote of 6-0, you have voted to do pass Senate Committee substitute, Senate Bill 676.
I now make a motion that we exit executive session and resume our normal hearing. It has been seconded. Next up, perfect timing, we will be hearing Senate Bill 681. Senator Carter, please begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, Senator Jill Carter, representing the 32nd District. Senate Bill 681 is a pregnancy resource bill. It's my pleasure to be here with you to present this. This just raises the tax credit from 75% to 100%. Giving an opportunity for pregnancy resource centers to help with. They do a lot more than just pregnancy resources. They go beyond that with helping with car seats, diapers, clothing for children in the first 18 months. And so this will just help those centers in our communities be able to rally around women who are seeking support. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none, first up, they would like to testify in favor.
Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Samuel Lee with Campaign Life Missouri go on record in support of Senate Bill 681, and we're very, very grateful to Senator Carter for filing this. If this looks familiar, it should, because this is almost exactly the same, which was heard on House Bill 798 a few weeks ago and was voted out of this committee last week, along with the other two pro-life tax credits, the maternity home tax credit and the diaper bank tax credit. Happy to answer any questions, but we had, I think, some lengthy discussion about this previously. Certainly, if you were going to vote this out of committee, I would hope that the committee would consider possibly doing a committee sub and add the other two pro-life tax credits, the maternity home and the diaper bag tax credit. Certainly the diaper bag tax credit, there's this urgency on that because That has expired, and we need to get that back into effect. Happy to answer your questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for the witness? Seeing none, next up, they would like to testify in favor.
Excuse me. Good morning. My name is Timothy Faber. My wife of 38 years plus is Teresa Faber. And for the past 7.5 years, she has been the director of the Pregnancy Help Center, Lake of the Ozarks. And they currently have centers in Camdenton and Versailles. The Versailles Center has only been open for about 3 years and just got an ultrasound machine last fall. As you can probably imagine, an ultrasound machine costs several $1,000s. Not those little portable ones you can get for $5,000 or $6,000, but the standalone machines, tad over $30,000. And raising that much money above normal funds for operating costs would create a great challenge. A significant factor in helping them to meet that challenge to obtain the ultrasound machine was the tax credits that are currently available to those who financially support the center. And in turn, that ultrasound machine has played a life-changing role in the lives of numerous families. By increasing the amount of the tax deduction to 100%, donors and potential donors would continue to be encouraged to support the pro-life cause, enabling them to not only continue their current services, but also to expand their services and care for moms facing challenging pregnancies. Some of the possibilities that Teresa has mentioned that she would like to explore for future services would be to offer GED classes or expanded medical and nursing services and additional helps for moms and their babies who are facing various financial challenges that the A2A program does not cover. The Pregnancy Help Center Lake of the Ozarks is a fortunate position financially. There are other centers around the state that face challenges, sometimes even meeting basic needs, and this expanded tax credit could be critical in their continued ability to continue to serve moms and their babies. Finally, with the legislature continuing to discuss and pursue the likelihood of eliminating the income tax, it's evident that the state can easily afford the lost revenue from this expanded tax credit. Additionally, if the income tax is eliminated, this credit will also be all but eliminated, since the vast majority of those who claim the credit do so against their state income tax and not other taxes or obligations owed to the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for the witness? Senator Lewis?
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have to look to see if we're still in morning or afternoon because time's crazy here. So with I just have some questions around the ultrasound machine that got at your wife's center. Who does the ultrasounds? Like, is it a radiology technician?
Yes.
Okay, certified in the state of Missouri, licensed and certified. And then who does the final reading on the ultrasounds?
A physician, a volunteer, a doctor, certified, licensed, and everything.
A board certified radiologist
Yes.
in the state of Missouri.
Yes.
And are they on premises?
The ultrasound is done on premises
Okay.
by the ultrasound tech, and then those ultrasounds are taken to the doctor, and they're looking into ways where that can be emailed to the doctor, but currently they're hard copies, taken to the doctor, and then the doctors look at them, sign off on them, and then send them back.
Interesting. Okay. Because I think, anyway, that's the first I've heard of physical ultrasounds being transferred to a doctor in this day and
Not
age.
everywhere in Morgan and Camden County even has internet service.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you've got that. I've just heard some concerns with some other pregnancy crisis centers who do not have medical experts and are providing inaccurate information to these women in crisis.
Okay.
But I'm happy to hear that you have licensed radiologists, doing the final reads.
The one that does Camdenton works at Lake Regional Hospital.
Okay.
And volunteers on her time off.
Yep.
And the one in Versailles was actually a teenager whose youth group took a tour of the Pregnancy Help Center, and she's like, this is cool. I think I want to do this when I grow up. And so she went to school, went to college, graduated, now works at a hospital here in Jefferson City or Columbia, I don't remember which, but she's from the Versailles area, so she comes down regularly and volunteers there. So all board certified, taken care of.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any further questions to the witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, everyone testifying, please be sure to leave a witness form.
Thank you.
Please begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, Susan Klein, representing Missouri Right to Life, here to go on record in support of Senate Bill 681, and we thank Senator Carter for bringing it forward. Pregnancy resource centers and these maternity homes are on the front line of helping women in crisis. They provide everything that they possibly can with the funding that they have, and if they can raise more money in their community and the donors receive a tax credit, that's a good thing for, I think, the state as a whole. So we strongly support this bill. We get a lot of phone calls at our office asking for help. We have a list of the pregnancy resource centers across the state, and we send people to the area where they live so that they can get the help that they need. So we thank you for your support of this bill, too.
Thank you very much for that testimony. Any questions for the witness? Seeing none. Anyone else who'd like to testify in favor, please come forward. Seeing none, anyone that would like to testify in opposition? Anyone for informational purposes only? Seeing none, that concludes the hearing for Senate Bill 681. Next up, we have Senate Bill 782. Senator Roberts, please begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee, for affording me the opportunity to present Senate Bill 782. There is a House version of bill, which is 1524 and 1580, which was perfected. I will be offering a Senate committee substitute that mirrors the House perfected version. This bill is a targeted effort to enhance public safety, economic viability, and tourism within the city of St. Louis by creating an entertainment district in the downtown and central business corridor. This area is anchored by major venues and attractions and already serves as a key economic engine for our region. This legislation builds on the existing community improvement district framework while tailoring it to the unique needs of entertainment-centered areas. Senate Bill 782 streamlines the formation process for entertainment districts by removing the current petition requirement of over 50% of property owners to sign on. This change allows for a more responsive and coordinated approach to improving safety and visitor experience in areas with large, diverse ownership. Most notably, Senate Bill 782 provides narrowly tailored additional powers to these entertainment districts squarely focused on public safety. These include the ability to hire and train peace officers with authority to enforce local laws, curfews, and regulations that ensure the district remains safe, accessible, and family-friendly. Finally, this legislation makes room for smart, accountable investment by the state in promoting entertainment tourism. It authorizes, subject to appropriation, limited funding from the Department of Economic Development to support initiatives that demonstrably create a positive net impact for Missouri. This means new jobs, new visitors, and increased revenue while maintaining strict oversight, annual reporting, and a clear sunset on appropriations. Glad to take any questions. We've also got some experts as well.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none, first up that would like to testify in favor, please come forward and begin whenever you're ready.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Ernesto Segura. I'm a partner at Hush Blackwell, LLP, and my law firm represents a number of community stakeholders that are very supportive of this legislation. Obviously, public safety has been a key issue in St. Louis for quite some time, and as St. Louis looks forward to the state's oversight and investment in the police force in the city of St. Louis, we believe this is also an opportunity for the state to provide, as the senator says, very reasonable, disciplined investment into public safety. This provides an opportunity for the community stakeholders to have a say in adding additional peace officers who are post-certified and will coordinate with local law enforcement to ensure that public safety is something that we can market to interested organizations, conventions, tournament operators who can come and use St. Louis as where they want to showcase their investments, and this is an opportunity for us to help with the public safety aspect of that. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for the witness? Seeing none, next up, they would like to testify in favor. Please come forward.
I can bring this over to you.
Sorry if he's such a problem. Good morning, Senator and members of the committee. My name is John Barget. I'm appearing here today on behalf of the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team in support of Senator Roberts' bill. As the previous witness outlined, there is a district area in downtown St. Louis that we feel that this could be very helpful to promoting the district, helping with crime, and we feel it would be very helpful, and we've been very supportive in working with this group back in St. Louis to come up with this legislation. So appreciate your support.
Thank you. Any questions for the witness? Seeing none, next up, they would like to testify in favor. Please come forward. Anyone here to testify in opposition? Anyone here for informational purposes only? Senator, any closing remarks?
No, thank you.
This concludes the hearing for Senate Bill 782. Last but not least, we will be hearing House Bill 770. Representative Banderman, please begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Brad Banderman. I'm the state representative from the central part of Franklin County. Appreciate the senator from Franklin hearing my bill today in committee. The bill in front of you, House Bill 770, is simply an extension for the sunset for the Technology Trust Fund for our Secretary of State's office. This was initially established in 1994, over 30 years ago, in Senate Bill 635, with an 8-year sunset. Sunset clause has been extended several times, allowing our Secretary of State's office to upgrade technology throughout the agency without using general revenue. This will provide critical funding and technology for multiple divisions, including elections and business services. It will extend the sunset to 2030, and once again, this allows the Secretary of State to keep up with technology without using general revenue. The technology fund is comprised of fees on business service filings such as LLCs, fictitious name corporation filings, UCC, and notary filings. The past year, they have refreshed the entire election system infrastructure, updating both on-premises and at our disaster recovery site. They've also purchased some additional storage devices. Technology Trust Fund provides quality IT employees, computer upgrades for the entire agency, updating software and election equipment maintenance for our Secretary of State's office. This simply just extends the sunset once again out to 2030. It does not increase the fees. And if the fund happens to get over $5 million in it, the rest of it is dumped back into general revenue. Currently, they collect about $3 million per year using this fee structure. If there's any questions, I'll take them.
Thank you, Representative. Do we have any questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none, first up, they would like to testify in favor. And Secretary, I'd just like to say welcome back to your old committee.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Chairman, members of the committee, Amanda Bell with Secretary of State. I am here in favor of the bill. Representative Banderman already did a pretty good job at explaining what we used the bill for. One thing I would like to just mention is one of our most recent projects is we have the Business Services Department where people come in for registration and all that kind of stuff. Our current system has had a lot of issues with drop calls and things like that, so we've actually used part of that fund to update that call center. So hopefully that will improve our customer service across the board. We're also using it for, again, updating our cybersecurity systems, which is a constant need. Technology is moving quickly, as you all know. So with that being said, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for the witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Anyone else that would like to testify in favor? Anyone that would like to testify in opposition? Informational purposes only. Representative, do you have any closing remarks?
I do not. Once again, Chairman, thank you for the opportunity to present House Bill 770. It's good to see you again, colleague. Senator Lewis.
This concludes the hearing for House Bill 770. With no further business coming before the committee, I now motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? We are adjourned.